everybody. So, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be doing this Operation Right Home sketch number 99. And this one, I felt like it was going to be perfect for more Father's Day cards. So, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. I've already started, or I picked out my papers because I'm going to make two cards. So, I'm cutting this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to have two base pieces. And then I'm also going to cut, while I have it out, I'm going to cut my card base, which I'm just lining my black paper here up on 4 1/4, and I'm cutting right down the middle, and we'll fold those later. And then I'm going to take some of my white paper and start creating some of the mats for everything. So the mat is going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I'm just cutting two of those. And then this sheet right here, I'm lining up on 1 1/2, and then we're going to cut it down to, I believe on the sketch itself it said 4 1/4, but because I'm doing mine a little bit shorter, so I have a border, I did it at 4 1/8. So it lines up to the mat that, we created. And once we have all our mats cut, we're just going to start attaching and putting everything together. And if any of your sheets have, any blemishes or little like fuzzies, just take your file and make sure you hit your edges with that. And because we're doing the mats, we don't have to ink our edges. Because remember, I was telling you, if you ever, feel like you don't want to use mats, all you have to do is ink the edges, and it'll create definition between your layers. But for this one, we're just going to attach our pattern paper to our mat pieces. And I'm using my art glitter glue and my tape gun. ATG, or advanced tape. And I'm just kind of laying this out here, trying to see if I was going to like how everything was laying down. And I think it's going to work good. So we're just going to keep on going. And using that glue, I'm telling you, if you ever feel like you need that little bit of time to have wiggle room to be able to move stuff around, you definitely want to use glue with your ATG or even your score tape, because it gives you just that little bit of time. And I find too, like sometimes with the layers, you get more of a stronger hold, so stuff isn't falling apart when you give it away. So last piece, and then we're going to start building everything up. So we're going to score our black paper at 5 1/2. So that way we'll have our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 A2 size cards. And this black paper I'm using is a heavier weight, so that's why I score on both sides, because it makes it easier for it to bend. Sometimes if you don't, the paper can be a little too stiff, and it becomes a pain. So I always like to turn it over and do two. Alright, and then once we have that attached, I'm going to attach the horizontal piece, which I try and line up my card as straight as it can to the mat that I'm using, which helps me line up, where I'm putting the strip here going across the center. And then we're going to take our top piece. Once again, using our ATG and the art glitter glue. And you could actually use foam tape and, give dimension that way. But I didn't want to use foam tape on these layers, but I will wind up using it on my sentiment piece, once I get everything put together. Sorry about that. That was so weird. It doesn't happen often, but like literally while I was talking, I could feel a yawn coming and I couldn't stop it. Okay, so we're getting this one attached and you can see how simple. I think that's what I love about sketches sometimes is they just it takes the guesswork out of stuff, the pressure of trying to create something. It just makes it so much easier sometimes. And I like that because doing so many videos, I find that after a while you lose a little bit of your mojo. You feel like you've like left it all like however many videos ago. So I like the series and I'm glad you guys like it because it allows me to still create and make cards the way that I want to, and it takes pressure off of me. So I love it. All right, so we got our pieces. I was gonna put the light one, World's Greatest Dad, on the right side, and I switched it only because it washed out because of the background paper being so gray. So that's why I swapped them. And then same thing on this one. I'm putting the phone tape on the back, and then we're gonna attach our sentiments. And on the photo, the little spot where I'm putting the circles is where they have the square. So it shows you, you can use whatever. If this was more of a girly card and you want to put a message on hearts or like for Valentine's Day or something like that, you could do that. So I just say have fun with it. That's what I love about sketches. It's like you can do whatever you want and make it work. So instead of using the silver, it was going to be a little bit too pearly. I decided to grab the Black Nouveau drops and go ahead and put our three dots on there. And I have these cards in front of me right now, and I was tapping on them a lot on this particular one. And I'm glad I did because these are the first ones I had that turned out exactly how I wanted, which was more like an enamel dot instead of a big dome. Sometimes you want it to have a little bit of a raise, but not too much. So the harder you tap on it, and if you can let it dry with nothing around it or on it, it settles and it does. It looks just like enamel dots. You guys will love it. So at the end of this video, I will make sure to have links to previous sketch videos. If you do want to get some shopping in, I'm not sure, I know this paper is a particular old one, but like I said, I'll have links down below to the current Kaisercraft sets that I know we have in the boutique. And when you go over there, just make sure you use the coupon code TT15 so you can get an additional discount. Thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend.